Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Today's focus is on Binance Coin, some relevant news, and of course my price predictions. Just a reminder, none of this is legal, tax, and or financial advice. I encourage you to do your own research, and I'm not a financial advisor. If you like this content, or if you've enjoyed my previous videos, consider subscribing and smashing that bell icon if you want to stay up to date with my latest content. Okay, let's begin. Quick summary. Binance is one of the biggest exchanges in the world. In fact, based on trading volumes, it is the largest in the world, and it's done very well for itself considering it only started 2 years ago. Let's see where Binance sits in the list of cryptos there. So it's at number 7. It's defied the trend that many other cryptos have had over the past 12 to 18 months and actually increased in price. Let's have a look at the graph as well. The all-time prices, so not much happening up until that huge peak we had there, and as you can see, despite the drop, it's done very well compared to the rest of the market. It just keeps on breaking its all-time high. Let's see what happens here onwards. So one reason for its success is it has so many different trading pairs. As the list is endless here. If I had to show you the whole list, I mean, there are, if we actually look here, I want to point out, just to give you some perspective, 454 markets available on the exchange. But that's one reason why it's done well for itself, and it's available in so many different currencies, different languages as well around the world. So accessibility is a huge thing, especially for an exchange to thrive. Okay, some news in the space. One of the biggest announcements made over the past couple of months is this launch of what's called a decentralized exchange. So we have Binance that still runs as a regular exchange, as I just showed you there. And on top of that, there is the Binance DEX. It gives people the option to have full control over the crypto and their wallets, choose not to give Binance the option to manage their funds. With the greater rights and the independence of managing your funds comes a responsibility to ensure that you've protected them, because they're exempt from the insurance. So Binance does have in the event of a hack. Binance has also established something called a launch pad that allows other companies to promote their token or their cryptocurrency project, and giving them this platform to make it easier to do so. Still very new, only launched just under 2 months ago as well, about the same time as the Binance DEX. Keen to see how that all pans out. Time will tell. It's good that they're actually trying to set these new trends, really setting a positive precedent. We'll see what happens there. It's not all sunshine and roses, of course. Binance has made an announcement recently that has annoyed some people in the US, because there's been this move from Binance.com to a specific US Binance website, and therefore moving the customers, or it's kind of restricting them in terms of what they can trade and all. And some people are saying, has this had like any major implications on the prices generally speaking? I want to point out some of the information here from CCN. The Bitcoin price climbed as high as $8,450 on Friday morning, lifting the flagship cryptocurrency to its highest mark since 3rd of June. The trigger for that rally? The fallout? A punishing altcoin winter that could slaughter altcoin valuations while Bitcoin continues to trend higher. That's the shocking analysis of crypto economist Alex Kruger, who warns that Binance's decision to launch a regional US exchange and boot US traders from its core platform could fundamentally reshape the global cryptocurrency market. Binance, as CCN reported, has partnered with BAM Trading Services Inc. to launch Binance US, so that will directly compete against Coinbase. And there's more information in CCN's article there. Tweet from Alex Kruger. I'm just going to read the key points here for those who aren't looking. Binance US coming. 1. 2. Binance may move US users, apparently about a quarter of the total, from Binance.com to Binance US. If no Binance Coin in Binance US, then the demand would drop. That would then have reverberations with that price and then throughout space, because of course the US users contribute to a vast number of the users for Binance, and I assume for many exchanges generally speaking. And actually, as a quick side note, I've noticed quite a few of my listeners are from the US. Shout out to those listening. Thank you for tuning in. This actually led to a steep drop in Binance Coin. In just a day, the price dropped substantially. That looks like about 10 to 12% drop there. The prices are still fairly high despite that, so still in a very comfortable and dominating position nevertheless. Back to the article. Kruger says if BNB does not receive a US listing, its price could crater. Already the BNB price has plunged more than 7%. I think there's a bit of exaggeration personally. as we've seen, just looking at the live data, that, well, let's look at the price this week. It's actually bounced back somewhat. Bear in mind that we can't expect the price to just constantly increase without there being drawbacks. This happens where you get some negative news. It depends on how prices respond and how the overall market reacts to this as well. So I expect this to then go back up and then set a new all-time high. Let's see what happens. Just before I go into the price predictions, a couple of other things here as well. It's the beginner's guide to Binance DEX from Blockonomy. I'll provide a link to that in the description. Becoming more popular over the past 6 to 9 months with the idea of getting new stable coins. For those who don't know, a really basic description, a stable coin is a cryptocurrency that is pegged 1-to-1 with a government-backed currency, generally the US dollar or the euro. In this case, it's actually linked with the pound sterling. It generates a lot of interest as well. It's a whole topic in itself. Again, it's fascinating reading. Last thing before, and this ties in with the prices, I want to jump to my price predictions here. So something different about Binance, some people will find this a bit odd, and I do want to make an explanation, is you can see here the current circulating supply is about 140 million BNB. And this here is a lower figure. Generally speaking, you would expect something higher. Well, the thing is, Binance Coin is deflationary. There is this concept called, and it happens with some cryptocurrencies, coin burn. This website gives you a good summary of what it involves. To give you a very quick summary, it involves reducing the supply of a cryptocurrency by burning the tokens there, and that will generally increase the value of the tokens, reducing the supply, and therefore, assuming that everything else stays the same, the price will most likely increase. However, it's never guaranteed, so do bear that in mind. And the beautiful thing about blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies is that you can verify this on the internet. It is fully transparent. This is rather technical, but there are experts who can then break this down into simpler information. So Binance burns a certain amount of Binance Coin every quarter. The next one is scheduled for July, so it's next month. Do keep an eye out for the prices in the lead up to that. There's also the Binance Academy. Here it gives you a more detailed explanation of the coin burn. I just want to draw your attention to this paragraph here. Binance performs periodic coin burn events through the use of a smart contract function known as burn function. BNB burning events are scheduled to take place every quarter until 100,000 BNB are finally destroyed, which represents 50% of the total BNB ever issued, 200 million. Back to my predictions, bear in mind that it's unlikely you'd get this burn in this period of time. 13.5 billion overall market cap in the next 6 to 9 months. Comes across as rather ambitious, but you have to understand that there's a lot of energy in the space, and I envisage that there'll be a big bull run either by the end of this year or early next year. And as I showed you earlier, Binance is the largest crypto exchange based on volume or trading volume. So this token will be highly sought after. In addition to, we have another 2 to 3. If you extend this to 10 months, there'll be another 3 coin burns. So this price, I wouldn't rule it out, even though it's another 6 to 9 months. Next one, $300 per BNB. This is reliant on the crypto space just growing substantially. I expect this to happen at $40.5 billion market cap, and say happen in the next 3 to 4 years. Again, just my thoughts. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't accurately predict all of this. Maybe these prices will never be reached. Just saying. $800. Yeah, this would involve a cryptocurrency market, I would say, of at least 4 to 5 trillion US dollars. By this stage, to get to this price, you would have crypto really establishing itself, Binance being very popular around the world. That would make it $108 billion market cap. And I would say, some will say sooner, but I'm going to say in the next 8 to 10 years, I think we're going to see we'll see a big rise in the price. We'll drop down a bit, taper off for a while. We'll still need to familiarize themselves with how this all works. $1,200 per token. My goodness, this again, if not when. In fact, all of these are mostly if not when. $162 billion market cap for Binance Coin. 12 plus years, maybe over 12 years. That's a huge return on investment. If you manage to hold on for that long, and hypothetically, if the prices were to get that high with this assumed circulating supply, this circulating supply would be more applicable to the longer term. We'll see what happens. $100 per Binance coin. That would be a 12 billion market cap for that circulating supply. You could I'd disregard the market cap here. I've just used this for comparison. I've said that at the bottom. The more relevant ones with this circulating supply, the next three prices would be more significant, especially the last two. So I'll go through these. 800. Let's see what happens. There's one more thing I forgot to mention, and there's always a ton of information to cover. It says here, first, with the rise in the price of BNB, the burning rate will become slower, assuming all other things stay constant. And secondly, the price of BNB began to rise before Bitcoin even began to turn around in the market a couple of months ago. This means fewer BNB were spent on trading fees by our users, resulting in lower revenue in BNB, while our revenue denominated in US dollars rose during this time. Third, with the recent rise in Bitcoin price, we see our revenues in USD terms making a turnaround too, in other words, rising. Let's have a look at the overall market. The market overall is looking pretty good, mostly green. Some ones that are negative are give or take 1 to 1.5%, mostly green, or doing fairly well, going down the list of the top 50. Now, as I forgot to mention as well, there's been that's a wrap. If you're interested in more price predictions and just general crypto news, I have some extra videos here for you to check out. If you like this, give it the thumbs up, share it with anyone who you think will benefit. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to stay up to date with the news, especially with price predictions. Like it, give it the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with anyone who you believe will benefit from this. And feel free to leave a comment if you got some info or just want to say g'day. It's a wrap. I hope you're all having an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. I look forward to your feedback and I will speak to you soon. See ya.